Hello, welcome. This is Dreamstresses Yiskah.
And Ellen.
Sorry. This is the Dream Stream podcast, Dream Stream of Consciousness. And I'm really excited to be sitting with you, Ellen. In our pre-podcast conversation, you blew my mind with your wisdom and depth. And so I'm looking so forward to continuing with your material.
Oh, well, thank you, Yiskah. That's a nice compliment. And I think we riff off of each other. So,
Yeah,
what
I
you
know.
said spurred something in me and glad that it was useful. Thank
It was. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. So my dream life has been interesting in terms of it seems like nothing, 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 and then I have two dreams. And then nothing, 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 and then I have two dreams. So last time we talked, I had two. This time I had two.
Interesting.
Um, yeah, so I'm just gonna jump in. That's cool. Yeah. Um, I'm with two friends, Sheila and Jess, and they're friends. Side note, they're friends from a place I used to work when I first came to Santa Fe, a spa that I used to work at. So I'm with these two friends, and we're in New York City, and they're waiting by the car that they're going to go to a party. They were invited to a party, and the invitation um, was this is the most bizarre thing, but it just felt like an important detail. It was like a, a rubber model of a thumb, and it was like red, like almost like it was bloody, like a bloody thumb. So bizarre. That was the invitation. It was like an image, on a piece of paper.
Uh,
And they got this invitation and I didn't. And I was, kind of like, it seems like I should have been invited to this party. So, okay, I'm going to kind of read here because felt I should have been invited. I decide to go with them anyway. We had just come from this tall building, this really really tall apartment building, and somehow we were getting ready in the like top floor, and I realized that I had forgotten my. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna read because I feel like I'm missing some pieces.
okay, so
Okay.
I have a lot of images,
Okay.
and so this will fill in.
Yeah, it'll probably fill in and it's a little bit willy-nilly because that's how I wrote it. But
That's fine. Okay, I'm ready.
I'm with Sheila and Jess. They're going to a party that they were invited to, and I wasn't. The invitation was this red thumb, this finger image of a red thumb received in the mail. I feel that I should have been invited, and I decided to go with them. We were just in this big tall apartment building and about to get into this car that was waiting for us to take us to the party. There was this discussion amongst them about me coming, like they weren't sure. They, were a little irritated with me somehow. Like, are you going to come? Or are you not? Like, maybe you shouldn't come. They didn't seem to want me to come. Then I realized I'd forgotten my purse and my black sweater. They were already annoyed with me, but I say, I'm not going without my stuff. So you're gonna have to wait for me. So I go on this what felt like a journey up the elevators. It was one of those like in and out and down the hallways and up the stairs, and like it took forever to get the stuff, and I get my stuff and I finally come back down with my stuff. And I feel like I'm really forcing myself on them. I mean, I'm really not sure, there's this discomfort of why am I doing this? Why am I feeling so urgent to go to this party with them and to make them wait and to, even when they don't want me to go, to like sort of force myself on them. So that was kind of a really deep feeling within the dream. Um, and let me see what else. I feel like I forced myself. I was having anxiety about who I am and what I was doing that I didn't feel like it was coming from my heart and soul or my confidence.
Hmm.
Like, oh, this is what I write. Like, I'm a human blob following those around me stronger than me. Like, it's as if
Hmm.
those two had this sort of confidence, like they were invited and they're going to this party. And I don't know, I don't feel confident in myself to know or feel or sense anything. It was a really interesting feeling within the context of this dream, like this lack of confidence that I
Yeah.
had to just go with them because otherwise I wouldn't know who I was, even when I wasn't invited, even when I felt like this was a split. Those two people are going to that party. I wasn't invited. Maybe I should look at it like I'm supposed to be, you know, reweaving my own threads, into myself,
Yes.
to use an image that we had used earlier, um, pre podcast, and yeah, just find my own confidence and find my own way, find my own party, find my own thing to do. But I felt so like if they left me and didn't go, and I didn't go with them, that I would be like this blob, like this nothingness, kind of.
Mhm.
And that's the dream.
And then, so clarifying questions.
Sure.
So when you were first remembering it, you were saying we're at like the top floors
Mhm.
of the
Mhm.
building.
Mhm.
Is and then when you read it to me, it didn't sound like that. Um it sounded more like we were in a building. It didn't seem like the top floors.
Yeah, but it was. Yeah, I said we
Okay.
were we had come from a tall apartment building, but yes, we were on
Okay.
the top floor, kind of.
Because all right, well, I don't want to mix my I don't want to put my associations. I want
Hmm.
your associations before I make my projections. This is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So so okay. Hold that thought. I'm sure you have some thoughts about that as well. Ellen and I are dream workers. So whose party is this?
I don't know. I don't know whose party it is. Um, let's see if I have a sense of that. Um, the only thing I know about it is that the car that was waiting to take them slash us to the party was like a
Yeah.
limo. It was like fancy. So, but I have no idea whose party it was.
Okay. Um, okay. And did you say this is Brooklyn? I don't remember.
It's in Manhattan,
It's in Manhattan.
in the city. Yeah.
Okay. So, um, and then you were, so the car's waiting and it's a fancy, like a limo type
Yeah.
car. Like it was
Yeah.
sent to pick up the
Yes,
party goers.
exactly.
Okay. Now, are these people that you know or
They
like,
are
or
both people.
Jess and Sheila?
Yeah, yeah. Jess and Sheila are definitely friends from my very first job, one of my
You were
first jobs.
saying, okay, at the spa.
Yeah, they were friends from they were both body workers now. Things have shifted, but they
Sure.
were both body workers. We were all body workers
Yes.
together. Spa.
Okay. Yeah, you said that.
And that they are friends of mine and they are friends with each other. They're actually closer to each other than I am to one of
Okay, that's interesting.
they're
Yeah.
just they are close friends. Yeah.
And what in them reminds Dreamer of Dreamer's self? Like, as we always say, we're every character in our dreams, and we want to know what in Jess and Sheila, or Jess or Sheila, reminds Dreamer of self, other than, body worker.
Hmm. I don't know, spiritual seekers,
Yeah,
maybe creative people, but all
yes,
three of us are creatives.
yeah.
So, what feels to make sense to me is that the three of us at some point had been doing this like trade with each other. Like we would do like two
Oh,
of us working with one person, and we all work just slightly differently. So not just physically, but also spiritually and shamanic work. And so we,
beautiful.
for a short while, we were all doing that with one another, and
Yeah.
that was really special. Um, but and also what I'm sensing is this. So this is a little off the trail of your question because I don't it, yeah.
Questions are just to lead you in
Yeah,
your own
I'm not
discovery.
sure how they, they
Exactly.
got me, but I would say healers, creatives,
Mhm.
spiritual seekers, you know,
Yeah,
travelers on that particular kind of path.
absolutely.
And how the sense of it for me is that they that I'm always a little bit on the outside, and that's something I do to myself, 100%. And I finally really real recognize that. Like I could say, wow, why doesn't anyone see me or understand me or include me? It's not true at all. At all. It's really what I do is really what I do. So, not always what I do, but it's what I have done in a way. It's like
Yeah,
kind
we
of,
know. We've been along your dream journey. We know
yeah,
this about you.
more about me than I know about myself. So it feels like it has something to do with that. And maybe, yeah, anyway, yeah, maybe the fact that I think that they've both moved on in a certain way. When I say moved on, like Jess actually moved on. I mean, she got married, she had a kid, she
Okay.
moved away. She's actually doing in school for something completely different now.
Okay, very
And there's
interesting.
something about that that I really like admire and also envy a little bit.
Yeah,
You know, like how clear cut she can be about I'm just going to go to school and learn this new thing, and it's very
yeah,
practical, and she doesn't like have a lot of angst about the choice and the decision the way I do about everything.
yeah,
And and Sheila also was my that was Jess, and Sheila is the person who was my office partner. I mean, she's my friend, and but
yeah,
also
yeah, yeah, yeah.
office partners, and now she's not anymore. She sort of moved on to her doing her own thing, and so she's, the feeling is of being a little bit left in behind.
I get it. I get it.
Yeah, and I've had that a lot in my
Yeah.
dream world, and I've had that a lot in my world.
In
It's like,
fact, this may be exactly the same dream or like, similar theme dream as you shared very recently on the dream stream. And I'd like to remember more because, as you say, I'm your memory of your dreams, but
thank
I'm
you.
not remembering exactly which one. The theme of it, though, feels very familiar.
It is a familiar theme for
Mm.
sure for me. Like I absolutely
Yeah,
that runs through is that feeling of being left behind, and there is in waking life this
I
kind
was
of
just
urgency.
gonna ask you.
It feels like there's this urgency to like step out in the world, to step
Hey,
into some form of I keep calling it leadership, but I don't know exactly what I mean by that.
yeah, yeah,
Teacher, ship or something. And somehow I cannot seem to mm, get there.
yes,
I can't
yeah.
seem to break into through to something that feels like a real yes. So yeah, there is that actual that's the relation to what's happening in my waking world. Um,
Uh,
yeah,
so,
and
may I offer
yes,
some
please.
projections?
Hmm.
So, to me, when we're in a tall building, so it's especially high, and at the top floors, it's our highest consciousness. I mean, we're not on the roof, which,
Hmm.
but
Right.
we're high, and like, so I feel that that this dream is coming to tell me something about myself that I can work on, and so I'm feeling that is so about this dream. Um, just if it were my dream, because I've been really, I mean, my whole life, or since I've been 14, I've wanted to go to Australia. And I just been watching different things on the internet or in the movie, whatever. The birds. Oh my gosh, do I love the birds of Australia. The cockatoos just in flocks. Like I would love to open my apartment window and there's, you know, cockatoos and parrots on, so also, and so I'm sorry to go off on that tangent. Um, and just to say, this was since I was 14. I'm just going to go on a little bit. I had an Australia folder where I tore out like pictures in magazines, koala bears, and I had Qantas Airlines. I was going to fly on Qantas. I mean, I knew maps of Australia. So this is why when I promote this, I'm also promoting it specifically to Australia because it would be wonderful to go there and offer dream work. Anyway, plug. So, but I want to say, why I'm saying all this, my association to the name Sheila, they call women Sheilas. It's in Australia, it's like slang, like the Sheilas, all the women, like it's a
Oh, I never heard that.
term for the women's, and then Jess being
Uh,
my name. So I
oh,
was like,
right.
okay,
Right,
another.
that's your name.
What, you never thought about it as my name?
I didn't actually think of that as your name. Of
That's so funny.
course, I know that's your name,
I
but I call you, so did it? Yeah.
So, but back to your dream. Um, is there anywhere in your life, well, I guess you are feeling, or dreamer seems to be feeling, I don't know how to say this projectively, that that if I'm the dreamer, I am being left behind by these two coworkers because I know my next step in work is going to be a little different
Hmm.
and I will be stepping up.
Hmm.
And as far as stepping up into elderhood, that's what I hear you saying. Like leadership, yes, but that's also elderhood. I
Yes.
really want to suggest a book. I haven't read it, but it's called From Aging to Saging. And it's written by Reb Zolman Schachter,
Yeah.
Shalom of blessed memory.
Mhm.
Um, he might be a little too patriarchal. I'm not sure your work is not going to be
Mhm.
uh necessarily the work of a male, obviously. Um, but you might be interested in reading that.
Sure. Sure. Yeah, I've heard of that book actually. Yeah.
Oh, have you? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But definitely right. Definitely the sage, the wise woman, the
Yes,
like,
yes, yes.
know, like, come on already. That's how I feel. But I don't want to be impatient with myself, but I do feel a little bit like, come on already.
Step
Like,
up. And that's what they say to the birds in
offering, yeah,
Australia.
right.
That's what people who have a pet bird, you say, step up, and the bird steps up. Step up. And then, I hear that too. People in our vernacular, he
Mhm.
stepped up. He
Step
really
up to
stepped
the
up.
plate. Step up
Oh,
to the
that's stepped up to the plate.
right.
Ah, interesting. Yeah.
Right. And then there's the sort of internal conversation that goes, well, but can I just be okay with just me being the beingness of me? Is that okay enough? Do I have to be something else?
Isn't that the question?
I mean, that is the inquiry for sure, is
Yeah.
like, but the spiritual inquiry that I have been on is about present moment, right? It's like this. It's like this now. Oh, maybe I'm a little anxious. Okay, it's like this. No story. No story about it. No story about the
Oh,
depression, the anxiety, the whatever's going on in the world. It's like, okay, this is how it is. It's like this. Oh, I can't seem to get motivated. Okay, it's
that's
like
that teacher that you were telling me about.
Jeannie Zandy. Yeah, yeah. Love Jeannie
Like,
Zandy.
it's like this.
JeannieZandy.com. She's so wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and um, it's just so simple, really. It's really so simple if you can
Okay.
actually surrender to that moment of, okay, here it is right now. And that doesn't necessarily mean that those two things are not mutually exclusive. Me
Okay.
being very, calm and present, not having to do anything, change anything, to just be here, it doesn't mean that also I don't have some creative ideas as to
And
how to move forward and step deeper
absolutely.
into
I like that.
healership or teachership or
Yes.
something, else, some kind of facilitator, whatever it is. I have,
Yes.
but yeah. So,
Oh, I just had a hit. I it just flew at me. I just was picturing painting classes at old age homes
huh,
with the really elders.
that's
The
interesting.
paint and instead of like paint and sip, it would just be like paint and talk about our stories from our lives.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Yes.
I wonder if they'd even mind, like if you set up to record. How interesting would that
This
be?
is reminding me, my friend Colette Ruoff, who's in the Hudson Valley. I don't
Okay.
know. know her.
I
She
don't.
she had a thing called Sage. I don't know if she still is even doing it. I'm not sure. It's called Sage Arts.
Really?
Yeah, Sage Arts,
I
and you can
love
look
that.
it up, listeners. Yeah, she's a lovely, awesome person, and also and she sort of developed this program where she would get musicians and creative people to go to match them with an elder, and they would write a song about, like, the person would tell them about some of their history,
Oh my
and
goodness.
the musician would write a song about them, and then they performed the songs. It was
I
very, very,
love that.
what a
I'll
fantastic.
put some of these wonderful recommendations in the show notes
Yeah,
because you're offering us such treasures.
absolutely. And like I said, I don't know whether she's still doing it, but there will be something on there, on if you
Yeah.
search it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so there is something about, like, elders telling their story, and it almost feels like something that I'd like to do for myself too. But what's my story? I don't know.
Oh my God, your story is still being written,
It's
girlfriend.
still being written. Well, that's, I mean,
Very much so.
our stories are being written until we die, basically.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Different chapters. But
Yeah.
anyway,
So what
yeah.
how do you feel now? I mean, so this is the kind of dream that I would want to do it possibly, or like just in not necessarily in a shamanic dream entry with meditation and a drum, but just in like maybe even writing. Just
Mm.
what would it be like to be left behind? What would I do? How would I find myself?
Well, here's an interesting. I have sort of an answer to that question. I
Okay,
mean,
thank you.
with the dream, I
Yes.
just sort of had a thought that, you know, I was going to this party and I forgot my stuff, which is another very, very common theme for me.
It
I forgot
is.
it is. So, like, it's kind of amazing.
And if
And
I may just interject here, in waking life, that tells me, oh, yeah, maybe I won't go. Oh,
um,
I'm not ready. I came out. I left my, oh, let
right,
me,
the
this is
fact that I
second
left,
thought.
yes, the
You know
fact
what
that I
I
left
mean?
something important, behind is
I
like,
trust, I trust the universe, intuition, whatever you attribute it to.
well, that leads me into what I was thinking, which is
Okay.
I then went back to this building to the very top floor, but it was a journey, and I wrote it as such. A journey.
Oh, to get,
So it almost feels like something in that top floor of me, the spiritual something,
yes,
whatever you want to call that, the higher consciousness, right?
yes, yes.
It was, yeah.
I
So
think, yeah.
in that part of me was calling me back,
Oh,
that deeper, like,
okay.
and I don't know in the dream whether that was, I really got it. I didn't get it, but I'm getting it now.
Oh, I like where you're
I
going
went
with
back
this.
down and was still uncomfortable,
Yeah.
and still feeling like I was forcing myself into this thing that was old, and
Have
but
you
I
ever dreamed about this building or something similar? I've been thinking about dream locales lately.
definitely I've had dreams where I'm in the city, where I am in the city, but
Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
building, yeah, not this
So
particular
it's just like generic building in the
Eric
city.
Hall building, yeah,
Okay. So that's so interesting.
yeah,
So
yeah,
you get back up and then that's like a journey. But then one has to come back down.
right.
And even then the women don't want me to accompany them. Why? Why is that? Well, if I'm everybody in my dream, they don't want me to come. I guess they're telling me to go back up.
Yeah, they're telling me, like, this
That's
isn't you anymore. You don't belong here anymore.
right.
You're
You don't want to go to a thumbs up with blood on it.
Yeah, that right. The blood
What is that?
image. I don't. That's
I
the
kind
weird.
of think like the green thumb, that's like gardening, but red thumb, what would red thumb be? Oh, what? That's like stop. If green is go, red is stop. And a
Mm.
red thumb, I think that's telling me no, don't go to this party. So I feel like it was one of the questions Robert Moss encourages us to ask of a dream is, could anything from the dream happen in the future? And
Mhm.
I'm gonna riff on this. I'm feeling maybe, but I might be invited somewhere. I just need to check in and trust my intuition and maybe if I see the signs that I need to not go. I need to be able to trust because it wasn't intuition that made you go back upstairs. It was Well, it's all the same kind of, right? It's the dream is
I mean, it's a symbol, right? It doesn't
the
really, you know.
symbol. Yeah,
What was interesting was that going back upstairs to retrieve possessions like
yeah,
the banal possessions, my bag, which had my
yeah,
money and my keys and my phone and
sure.
whatever. And it's interesting that I forgot that. I forgot those things,
And the
like
black sweater.
black, yeah, it was like this black, wrap or whatever sweater.
Okay.
Like, I don't know what that represents, but
I
just
don't either. A
something
cozy
that I
wrapper
need,
sweater.
like things that I felt like I needed to
Yeah,
be okay, to
yes,
feel okay, and I didn't feel okay because I
right.
didn't do those things. Then I go, okay, well, let me, I'm gonna go, and then I go on this journey to retrieve the things that would make me feel okay. But when I come down, it's like, no, I still don't feel okay.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
uh,
yeah. And you even said like
yeah,
a blob. Like a
yeah,
what is that? What is a blob?
like kind of like. Somebody stands up like they have this structure, right? Like just the physical structure of a person when they have confidence, they kind
Mhm.
of stand strong. And I felt like the energy of me in that dream was like not that. It was like I was like "Bleh," like kind of
Uh-huh.
slumping and kind of
Yeah.
because I didn't
Not even feel
strong in my
structure. You didn't feel the structure.
right. I
That's an
didn't.
important word here.
That
Structure.
is an interesting word because that is kind of, yeah, the structure of life. Like, and I do feel in waking life because I'm not working as much as I used to,
Yeah,
which created a structure for me. I
yeah,
have a structure because I'm only working a certain amount of days, and that is a structure. But then there's all this open time that doesn't have a structure, which is kind of uncomfortable for me. Like,
yeah.
you in that time.
Right.
Um, yeah, but there's definitely something about that journey and like I think there's something about that the red thumb is like
My God.
thumbs up, but
Stop
nope,
sign.
nope.
Don't no. Right. Don't put like it's like double speak. It's a thumbs up, so it's like hey, but
Exactly.
it's red, so it's like ooh. Let's look at
I
a
actually like that.
deeper
Actually,
meaning that might be here.
that actually feels right. And like they can go. I wasn't even invited, so
Yeah.
why do I even feel like?
I don't want to go, and I shouldn't feel like I have to go. This reminds me of one of my best friends, Michelle Riddell, is she's 20 years older than me, so I'm 55 now. She's 75. And I saw her recently and I said, because when there's something going on, I can say, oh, maybe I won't go. I have MS and sometimes it's a struggle. Um, but then I realized I'm always happier if I do go. So I went to an event she was having. I said, Michelle, the answer is always yes. And she looked at me and she said, unless it's no. And
Love that.
it's just incredible.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's unless it's no, and right, and it's we know the difference. Um, well, and interestingly, it's like it was a yes for them, right? But not for me. I wasn't invited. There was
Right. Right.
so
Right.
I was trying to force something. And wait, there was just something that struck me. If they're part of me, then they're saying, no, don't go. Like, don't come with us. We're a part of you that's old. We are
Oh,
can't exist
yes.
anymore.
Right.
Go
You can
back
go
in,
your
don't
own
come.
way. Go your own way. I was just listening to Fleetwood Mac. So, yeah. And then, yeah, so I feel like this is a dream to meditate with or sit with or contemplate on because it's
Mhm.
happening in the highest rooms of the building.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That feels pretty rich.
Yeah. How can you honor this dream?
I definitely do want to riff on it a little bit and
Yeah.
write get something on paper about it. Like it feels important to remember to go my own way, to actually not go back into the old thing, but to sort of trust that there's something new.
Yes.
Even if I build on something that's old, something I've done before, but to build on that makes it new. and
Yes.
have to go back into something that doesn't feel totally comfortable
Right. It
that I'm
does feel like going back to get what's yours, but it also feels like going back to something, maybe if I was already doing something and then well, I have to go back and develop that more, or this is like I don't want to go back to my old life. So but I am going back up to where I'm living, I'm assuming. Do you have a sense that you live there?
no, I don't think
Oh, okay.
somehow. It was like just a
Okay.
place we were
Mhm.
getting ready for this party.
Yeah.
It was
Okay.
another common theme. A
I
room.
know. I dream about hotels and motels, like my life that used to be on the road, or whatever. Uh,
Uh-huh.
that is no longer. And you
Yeah.
dream of like personal things, and it's always so deeply touching.
Mhm. Thank you.
So thank you for sharing, you're wonderful. I know you said you have two dreams. How does it feel if we end this one now and right away we can do the second dream and a
It
whole new one,
feels
unless we need
like
to
a
go.
lot to do the it almost feels like just
Okay, good. I just
preparation.
want to honor you
Thank
to
you.
good too.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Well, we can do the second one another time, but I feel like it is significant and
Yeah,
but
okay, great.
like this dream uh feels like it's calling me to pay attention. So I don't want to diffuse it
Yeah,
by throwing in another one, even though it could be related, but they don't seem totally related. So
okay. Well, wonderful to talk with you
yeah,
again,
thank you
as
so much for
always,
your
Ellen.
attention.
Dream buddy.
Buddy. Good, so good to have a dream buddy in life. Really,
I
really.
mean, I know it. I know it. And even if you and your dream buddy aren't making podcasts, I mean, we're just doing this because it's fun. And I feel like this is exactly what you were saying. Perhaps this is part of what I have to offer in the world.
Right, exactly.
If
To
it's,
just, yes.
or even though it might be enough to just exist, we don't know.
Right, right.
We want
Well,
to do both.
part of our existence,
Yeah,
my and your existence,
yeah,
that we are dreamers and we love to share dream work with one
that's right.
another. So,
That's right.
and with other people, with you all. And we believe it's important. So that's just part of our
Absolutely.
beingness. It's not
Absolutely.
necessarily I'm saying, that I've chosen to do. It's just we're just doing this. So that is being. And
As
then it's
so many ancient cultures before us knew
yeah,
how
yeah,
important the dreams are and sharing dreams is.
yeah. Did
So,
we ever talk about that book? I think we did. The something of Ata is
the
waiting.
kin of Ata are waiting. That was great.
Sharing dreams. It was part of it's like some kind of a
Yeah.
fantasy type novel.
Uh-huh. Yeah, been
Yeah.
listening to a lot of Joseph Campbell on, audiobooks. And
Uh-huh.
um, I mean, it's just a common theme and
Yes.
all over the globe.
Sharing dream work is really, yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
And even if it's just saying your dream out loud to
Yeah.
another, the other person hears you. You don't even have to, I mean, digging in is juicy
Or
and
even if you just want to write and keep it to yourself and just want to reflect on it yourself.
absolutely
Dreams are calling for our attention or reflection or sharing.
nothing. They're not just for
Right?
nothing. I mean, just our
Yeah. It's
just a,
like your personal theater, your personal nightly theater. It's calling for your attention. I didn't hear you. What'd you say?
not just for your entertainment.
That's right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you again for being a wise mirror for my
Oh, I
dreams.
like that. Thank you. So we say goodbye to our friends. Holomod Metukim. Uh, is it still recording? It is.
It is.
No, it paused. Okay, good. Did you want to share that second dream with me now?
I feel like it is still recording, no?
It's not though. It says pause.
There's a red dot next to it. Okay.
Recording pause.
Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry, what was your question?
Oh, I was just asking if you might want to share your second dream now.
Oh, sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Um,
Then I'd love to read mine to you.
yeah, good, good. I have, a few minutes here.
Excellent.
Um, so I'm in a Pilates studio, and it's kind of this long, again, this is a similar,
Yeah.
similar kind of weird thing. It's like a long, narrow room, which is a very similar shape room that a lot of
Wow.
things. That is really interesting, actually. I don't
And
know.
you and your home.
And my home. Oh my
Yeah.
God, that is really interesting. Yeah, it's like I remember other dreams with art studios that were like a long, narrow
Oh,
room.
yeah, 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 yeah. I can remember many of her dreams. You go down a long hallway and then you
Yeah.
see a pair of worn leather boots
Uh-huh.
by a bed under like, yeah.
Oh God. Wow. I can't believe that. For that to me.
Don't you remember that one?
I'm absolutely impressed with you in that way. Um,
Yes,
anyway,
yeah, it's so interesting.
yeah. So it's a very big room, but it's very long. It's
What
not,
does
it's a
that mean to you?
that rectangular shape, long and rectangular.
Yeah.
And it's huge, and it's got tons of Pilates equipment, like everything right smack next to each other, lined up smack next to each other, all these different pieces of Pilates equipment.
Okay.
And let's see, I'm doing a session with someone that seemed like this woman, Tammy, that I know. She was Asian. She is Asian, but it was a young Asian woman that I think was
I
her.
thought you first of all you said aged.
No,
Like
Asian.
since when do you say aged? Asian, okay.
And I wanted to use what the piece of equipment that's called the tower, and but it was missing the poles, and I couldn't believe, like, with all this equipment, I could not find the poles to put in this thing to make a tower. Like
Okay.
there should have been like 1,000 towers all set up because it was 1,000 pieces of equipment, and I couldn't. The one thing that I wanted just wasn't right. I
Okay.
couldn't find poles or whatever. Um, Um, let's see. I was thinking that all the good exercise, I was thinking all the good exercises that we can do on this tower. And
Yeah.
but then I couldn't, find it. So I
Yeah.
go to the front desk feeling, like I wasn't really giving this person a good session because I really wanted the tower. I
Yes,
wanted that piece of equipment because I felt like that would have been the thing that would have given her the best session.
absolutely.
So I went to the front desk person to ask for the poll. Then the front desk person was this woman, Chloe, who is my Five Rhythms teacher and who I respect so much. I mean, I love her, adore her. Anyway, she's the front desk person. And this was so bizarre. Before she gives me the polls, she, she unfurls this like contract. It's like a bunch of pieces of paper taped together, like it looks like a little kid made it, with big letters and blue magic marker, that said who knows what, all the things about like a contract when you're taking something out of a library,
Okay.
there. And
Yeah.
it's like this big, but it's all willy-nilly, like a little kid put a bunch of pieces of paper together, and she unfurls this thing. And
Oh my gosh, that's so
that
funny.
was it. It was like, oh, I'm supposed to sign a waiver.
Wow. Wow. That's so I have to say that it's just like because we're not doing it on Dreamstream, I can just jump in
Yes, especially
if
since
you don't mind. At first, I mean, I heard you, but I couldn't help but think poles and like pole dancing.
interesting.
So, I mean, and that just makes me think like, I don't know this about you, but was there ever a time in your life where you thought you'd be like a stripper dancer?
No.
You know, poor Jewish girls. We don't get that kind of drama. I mean, I say that in jest, you
Mhm.
know, but it seems like, the people I've known over the years who have done that didn't have like a good family life.
Hmm. I
And
don't know anything. Yeah, I don't know
yeah,
anything
I'm
about
just
that.
thinking of the two people.
I
And
mean, there's a lot, so pole dancing is a thing right now, actually, and it's
oh,
not about
I actually
not
did
about
know that. I
sex.
love that.
Yeah,
I
it's not
love
about
that.
like sex. It's really just about, owning your own
I love that.
and it's like your own whatever sensual, sexual, and you have to be so freaking strong to do that work. I mean,
Absolutely.
you'd be able to lift your entire body up, like just holding them. It's like incredible.
That is
So
so fascinating.
there is a thing. Pole dancing is a
Yeah,
thing.
that's right. I think I did know that. So, okay, so
No, but I don't think there was any, it doesn't feel to me to be any
okay.
association.
So now you said you had a number of exercises that could have been done on the tower, but
Yes.
you also think of exercises for her not on the tower
Well, I
because
think we
we have that.
started to do some things, and then somehow I got it in my head that I wasn't doing a good job with
Yeah,
her.
that's right.
I
That's
wasn't
right.
like embodying my the part of me that is like a Pilates teacher,
Yeah.
which really relates in a way to I had thought recently that I was gonna put together this exercise class, and actually this would be the first foray
Oh,
in
I love it.
just do an exercise class in person,
Yeah.
based on some Pilates things and some, and equipment. And I think there was something in my brain that was also just processing. Like, well, I really want weights because we need to do, as older women, we need to start doing weights and straps and things like pushing up against, something like a
I
weight,
love this.
right? I mean, we need to do weight exercises. It's just,
This might
and I,
be, yeah.
yeah.
I'm sorry, a little high. And I mean, if I'm getting high. This this might be, if I'm the dreamer, this might be my calling, doing Pilates and exercise programs with older people.
Oh no, but that's the whole, that is exactly what I was going to do. I mean, that is I guess I didn't even tell you that.
Oh my God. Well, you didn't have to, your dream did.
Yes, well, that is, I mean, this is something I've even been telling people, so I'm like, oh fuck, now I
Yeah,
have to actually do it.
yeah,
Like that, middle-aged women need, or let's say menopausal women, let's say it like that. We need weight-bearing exercises, and I can do this. I can
yes,
totally do this. I
yes,
have
yes, yes, yes.
And I just thought how nice it would be for me also to have a schedule, for me to say every Monday morning at 9:30 or whatever
You
it is,
need structure.
I can get myself, and I'm not so strong right now myself. So it's
Did
like
you get what I
I
said?
need the structure, yes. So I need it for myself, but I also have the skills to teach people.
Exactly. If I lived near you, I would be going to your class every,
Thank you. Thank you. And every single person that I've said this to has said the same thing. I would come.
exactly, exactly.
So, it's been encouraged, but here's where I'm stuck. Okay. And
Okay.
here's what relates to the dream. I need equipment. I
Yeah,
need weights. Like I have my own personal weights and my own personal
yeah,
straps.
yes, yes.
But if I'm teaching a class, like let's
You
say
need
I
to
rent,
make a monetary upfront to get ready.
no, what I'm saying is
Yeah,
if I'm going to rent a space
yeah,
somewhere, it either
yeah.
has to have equipment, which most places don't,
Oh, okay.
or I have to figure out how to get the proper equipment. So I think maybe that's where the dream was coming in,
Oh, I
where I
see.
couldn't quite do the right thing.
Didn't have the
The right
right.
thing needed to be whatever, a pole, but
Yeah,
in
yeah,
reality,
yeah.
this is a weight,
I
weight.
like it. Yeah. Okay. I'm so
But maybe
excited.
we're just, maybe my brain was just riffing on that,
But I
like
think your brain was like solving issues.
trying to anyway. Yeah.
Our brains do that while we sleep. They work to
Yeah.
make sense. Okay, so can I read mine?
Go for
Oh,
it.
I just rejoined Bumble. I
Oh,
decided I was lonely.
yeah, I
And
get
I froze my account in Bumble a couple months ago.
that.
And
Okay.
I was like, "Man, I'm really lonely." And I thought my friend Felisa met a guy, Paul, on Facebook, like a local guy. And I was like, looking, I'm like, I don't feel like doing anything else. I'm just gonna put Bumble back up. But I'm getting a lot of attention. These are older pictures now, because the last time I was on Bumble, I was cuter, maybe. Okay. Leaf sent me a message. Ooh, I won't read it right now. I'm just gonna read my dream.
Are you paying for Bumble, by the way, or is it just the free one?
Paying for this week
Hmm.
because somebody super swiped me and I wanted to see who did because I'm ready now. And so for this week, for 1 week, it's like $30. So I'm
Oh.
paying for this week and then I'm gonna make sure I cancel, but not high, not what do they call it? Not time out my you don't have to be a paying member. You
And
just
is Bumble like people really want to be in a relationship, or is it just about hookups, kind of?
no, it's not just about hookups. It's not like Tinder or
Okay.
But the guys have one. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah.
Um, okay.
Hinge. I don't know. I don't know. Because yeah.
Oh,
Anyway, I need
it,
help with that. I really want to go online, and I
yeah.
need help.
I'm
Anyway,
gonna talk to you about that after
okay.
the dream.
Go ahead. Tell me your dream.
Okay. I am with the file cops and looking through a yearbook I'm really interested in until I realize it's inscribed to Dawn. Earlier, I was doing something that was supposed to be for Helen. Oh, it might have been had to do not with backpack. I think it had to do with setting the table.
Hmm.
I picture it with flatware. Um, it was supposed to be for Helen. And the Filecoff parents are there, but I don't feel comfortable. And then I think maybe I will be there tonight because they're all going skating that night. And then, oh, I'm questioned, when are you going to leave tonight at 9:30? And I said, yes. And I didn't think Shelley or Rose would, and especially Lance, would show me kindness. Oh, I didn't think they would show me kindness.
Hmm.
Um, After I found out, oh, oh, maybe records. I don't know if it was flatware. Maybe it was flat records with the older sister. Um, because I didn't think Shelley or Rose would, and especially Lance, would show me kindness after I found out that the records are inscribed, I guess, to Helen and then the book to Dawn. I said, this is her sister. I really don't remember this. Uh, I now gave the book back to Lance, and he said, oh, you can take any book. And he obviously didn't write me an inscription. I'm feeling bad and sad.
Hmm.
Um, in the previous dream, I'm also feeling upset because instead of protecting my son for maybe not sure, I was overly nice. And I wish I had been more protective in that moment and less simpatica, and which means nice. And I think that might have done with I haven't had my food stamps in like 2 months, and I've reapplied and I've done everything, and that they didn't even see my application. I spoke with a woman who was like, "You did you send it back?" And like I did it on the computer, and she's like, "Oh, hang on," like it's like she didn't even know it existed, and and then I had to send one more thing, and I did that, and when I called her, like again, and still not straightened out, I think I was too nice. Instead
Hmm.
of saying, hey,
Hmm.
I need the food. I'm raising a kid and I'm living myself and I need to have my food stamps. I don't have any money. It's like really, and I think that was what that dream was reflecting, that like, I was too nice.
Hmm. Hmm.
And of course that
But
also
it
reflects.
sounds like that was a little bit of an afterthought in the dream share, like that was something that happened in a dream before, or like something that you were processing. Because the dream itself doesn't sound like that. It sounds like you had this dream, and then somehow that other dream.
Oh,
That's how it read to me.
yeah. It
Was
really,
that you're
it
sharing this
really,
dream about your ex-husband and his
uh,
siblings, and not feeling like, sort of feeling maybe left out, or feeling like they, um, you know, he wasn't making you somehow important. That's how it seems to me anyway.
I
Like,
mean, it wasn't even about important. It was about like, like relational. It wasn't even like relating with me.
right, like he just wasn't even, yeah, wasn't it felt like he wasn't even really acknowledging you
So
as.
sad.
Yeah, yeah, that is sad.
So, I don't know how I felt when I woke up is, oh my God, a dream. I have to write it down. Because,
You
I
don't
always
remember.
decide to do that because sometimes I have to pee or sometimes I'm snuggling with Puma. who knows what's happening, and oh, I just lost my hair comb. Who knows what's happening? And, you know, it's not always been, I want to get back to it being the first thing. And that's like, I have to train myself. First thing I do when I first wake up, reach for my phone because I record on my phone, and then either voice record this one. I think I voice recorded because there's so many typos. Um, so
Yeah.
I don't know how I felt
Mhm.
after. I just know that I felt really sad during
Felt sad. Yeah. You know, you felt sad. Yeah. Yeah.
and bad, I said. So
Sad and bad. Mhm.
yeah. No, it's like people were just ignoring you. I don't know.
Yeah. Not acknowledging like the import of,
Humanity beyond the human, like the who you are,
yeah,
right?
who you are, the import of your being.
Yes, thank you. Ah,
Yeah. Yeah.
mhm.
And again, somehow it feels to me like, well, okay, is there any kind of a bridge from that, relationship to your own sovereignty now? Is there some bridge? Is there some
Next thing is that Lance and his sister Helen, I don't know who else, are taking Lev up to Vancouver.
hmm,
Like, and I can't just take a Lev away without someone to help me because I have MS. So
right?
I can't just make a plan like that. I asked Lev, has 5 days off because it's the 3-day weekend, and then
Mhm.
he has 2 more days because of unused snow days. And I asked him, "Oh, would you ever want to take the train up to Mystic, Connecticut?" And like, it's just such a beautiful train ride. But then what? He doesn't want to go alone with me. No, the answer is no. So it just breaks my heart.
Hmm.
But not that, because I don't want to let anything too close in my body, It makes me sad. Just leave it at that.
Yeah, but you can't really push it away, I think it just gets stuck. It gets stuck in your body if you don't allow yourself to feel the feelings.
Okay, yes.
So don't push away the sadness. Like, let yourself have a big cry. Let yourself have.
Everybody keeps telling me that these days. Not everybody, but you and another killer. I don't, I mean, I cry a little bit here and there. I don't want a big cry.
Mhm,
I'm not, uh, I don't have a big cry scheduled into my
mhm,
docket right now.
mhm,
I don't want a big cry.
mhm,
And it's probably coming, right even before we get off Zoom. No, I cry a little,
mhm.
a little cry here, a little cry there. And then I make a stupid joke and
Right. And that's fine. That's how you manage that. I know I personally feel like when there are deep feelings, if they don't get moved through, and it doesn't mean being a sad person
I'll dance it out. I can do that.
or dance it out, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
just move it through the body. Like, move it through the
Yes.
body.
I
Like, I
love it.
really believe that,
Okay, I will do that.
that
That
acknowledge
feels
that.
better to me,
Yeah,
a cry.
yeah,
I just want to move it out. I don't want to cry anymore. I've cried so many
yeah,
tears.
yeah, yeah. I get that. I get that. I totally get that.
Totally.
Yeah, sometimes for me the cry just happens, and it's not about a particular thing. It's sometimes usually just like something stimulates it, and it seems like it's about something, but really it's just life's pain, the pain of some life in general, and then
That's
it just.
interesting. I have had moments where I'm like, why am I sad? Is it because of this thing that's a sad thing for me or this thing? Or is it just the human condition? I mean, this is why I love Buddhism so much.
Yeah.
It's just clear. It's like, you know,
Yeah.
loss. Everybody has loss. This is we're mortal. We have in this existence, we're gonna have loss.
Hmm.
What a wonderful learning journey that will be.
Yeah,
You can't
absolutely.
learn about that when you're in another, uh, level or whatever, where you don't have loss, just transformation. I mean, there's so many different ways. Just think of all the different ways flowers open. I just feel like that's all a metaphor coming for us, is
Hmm.
that we will open. So I've been just watching. Do you want me to send you? I've been watching Edgar Casey. Here's the thing. It's everything that I believe. And then I was like, oh, right. Because my mom loved Edgar Casey, and she was like probably my first teacher. So
Mm.
that's why, you know what I mean? And then I, of course, whatever, went on my own spiritual journeys as well. But I agree with everything. Well, I can't say that, but so far I agree with almost everything, if not everything, that he is saying.
Yeah.
And they call him the sleeping prophet because he would have to go to sleep. And it was from that place of, like, I don't know, zeta brainwaves. I don't know, uh, where he got like messages for people, like psychic messages. And he talks about what happens when we die. That's like the most
Mm.
interesting to me right now.
Mm.
Because I wrote my master's thesis, which
Hmm.
wasn't really a thesis, it's my end of master's paper, on life review, on
Mm.
how at the end of your life you have a life review.
Mm.
And then
Mhm.
I was exploring the idea that, every night in Judaism, the bedtime Shema has a day review. And I was thinking, Rosh Hashanah has a year review, and how important it is. And like, it's easier, right, to make it in smaller pieces, like, to, but instead of just waiting to the end of our life when we no longer have the ability to fix things.
Mm.
We can identify it, but then we're not living. So what, we have to reincarnate? I don't want to reincarnate right now, you know? So that's what I wrote my master's
That's kind of cool.
on. And this is Edgar Casey. And that makes me laugh because my mom was my most wonderful of teachers.
Amazing. That's such a blessing to have a mom like that does that work.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna send you if you don't mind. I
Sure,
want
send
to
me.
talk. I want to talk about it with someone, and if you don't mind that too.
Yeah. I like, it's funny. Yeah, the death thing. My sister and I, I don't know, she was telling me how she's so afraid of death and
Oh,
afraid of,
send this to her.
and I'm like, but she's so not evolved,
That's
I
okay. Edgar Cayce is from like the 50s.
no,
Yeah.
but she's just not evolved. Doesn't matter how long ago that
Oh,
was.
I'm thinking like nobody was involved in the
No,
50s.
I mean, she's just not,
Okay.
she's just complains about the same thing she's complained about. She pulls on me to be like her therapist for these issues that she continues to talk about since 50 fucking years now.
Yeah, of course.
And she like never does anything I say. She never does anything I suggest. So it's like sending her that stuff, even though I want to, there's a part of me that wants to because I want her to feel better. I want her to like have some inner peace, but it's
That
like
was spoken of to the T on I've been doing audiobooks, the five love languages,
Mhm.
that your sister doesn't need you to solve it. She just needs you to listen.
Yeah, but
But
she pulls
now,
on me. She pulls on me so much. But actually, I mean, maybe I just feel that. Maybe she's not doing. Maybe she does just need to be heard, and maybe I just feel like I need to
he was
jump in and help
Dr.
her.
Chapman is talking about that in the book, like, but I think it was like the husband. It was like I'm trying to shoot every day. She comes back from work and she's complaining and I'm listening. I'm telling her how to solve all her problems, and she doesn't do it, and she doesn't do it, and then they ended up getting divorced, and then she got remarried, and he was like kicking himself, and he was like, I learned she didn't need my solutions. She didn't want me to tell her what to do.
Hmm.
It's not what she was asking. She was asking for me to listen.
Hmm.
And I don't know, that's different. That's like
No, maybe.
spiritual.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just
maybe.
it just struck me so familiar to what I
Maybe it
just,
is true, and maybe I think what maybe happens for me is I get stressed out,
yeah.
She's my
Yes,
sister, right? There's like a
sure.
special kind of a thing where you just,
Oh my God. I
so I feel like I want to,
stress my sister out way more than I could ever expect. I love her. She loves me. I stress her out. I don't mean to.
of course, and
I
I
don't
don't,
do that,
yeah, yeah.
but it's she always sends me like these funny memes of like the big sister, like mommy's little princess, and then like the little sister, like you know, like she knows. She knows the score. So just suggest I mean whatever. She's your
She's my older
sister.
sister. So
She's your older sister.
she's my
Yeah.
older
Family
sister.
dynamics are so
And
interesting.
I always feel like I want her to be the one to teach me something, to
Sure.
help me, and I'm always like giving her the exercises and telling her well, I don't know what it's going to take for me to stop eating so much sugar. I'm just so overweight and I'm so blah, blah, blah. And it's just like the same. And it's like, okay, here's what it is I don't know how to be, I can't listen to it anymore. So, okay, I need to have a boundary.
Yeah,
I don't need to
okay.
tell her what to do, but I need to say, hey,
It
I
may be
can't.
easier to like make a deal. Like I realize I'm telling you what to do. You don't want me to tell you what to do.
Right,
Or
right.
like it seems to me you don't want me to tell you what to do. And that's fine and I will listen. But I also have to make this boundary, whatever it is, and I won't tell you what to do, but I'm also asking that you please like let's have different conversations. Let's whatever it is, whatever
Yeah.
your boundary is.
Yeah, like if you need something very specific from me, I'm
Yeah.
happy to offer,
Yes.
support, but I don't want to, I can't really hear the ongoing problems,
That's
and I
it.
hear you and I care for you, I love you and I care about
Exactly.
you and I want you to feel better and be
Yeah.
happy, but I can't be the one to fix that in any way, shape, or form. So,
Boundary word. Sorry, I keep catching my eye. I was trying to figure out what they're doing outside my apartment. And there was a ladder and then a big clump of leaves just came down. Go to work. Got it.
right, right.
So,
Anyway, well, is there anything that you need around your dream?
um,
You need around that?
what did we say? How did we say? We said
Well,
oh, extra, but dance to music. Got
yeah,
it.
move
No,
it out.
I just have to do I'll do that after there's no more people in my backyard. Yeah,
Sovereignty, sovereignty, sovereignty. That's the word. That's the word,
I just love it. Ah,
right? Like,
love
okay,
it.
that happens. Yeah, feels bad. And like, yeah, come back to your own
You know
self.
what feels bad? And like brainstem.
Hmm?
It feels, try to locate, right? Make yourself, like I said, try to locate where's that feeling coming from? And I feel like it's brainstem. I feel
Hmm.
like it's neck, actually, more neck. And
Mm-hmm,
maybe that my neck, I have a lot of neck stiffness. I guess I hold
mm-hmm.
stress in my neck.
Oh, yeah. So just breathe into that place. Just like breathe in and like relax your shoulders. Yeah, just like even like
Yeah.
lifting up the sternum a little bit. You know what I mean? Like as if you had a string that was pulling 45 degrees up this way from the center of your chest. Because when you lift up here, it makes the
Oh,
head,
I love that.
right? It puts the head back in alignment and then
Thank
breathe.
you. I will do this. I want to tell you, Gwyneth, who's my great friend and one of my home health workers, um, quoted to me, behind every confident woman is a Pilates instructor telling her to keep her shoulders back and down.
Down. Yes. Lift the sternum,
I
shoulder
love that because she's given me like the golden,
pulling up from here.
and this is a
Oh,
silver string. So I'm like, whoa,
yeah.
these are the threads.
I love that. I love And that's a wonderful way to look at it because you don't want to feel like you're forcing,
Right.
right?
Oh,
You want to feel
yeah.
like just like this. Yeah. So I love the idea of a thread.
What is it? Da-da-da-da. Stick out your da-da-da-da. It's one of these like Broadway shows. Oh,
Oh, tits and
it's an
ass.
ass.
And ass. I don't
Stick
remember
out your tits. Stick out your ass.
The chorus line, was it from a chorus
That's
line?
right. That's right.
That was a great. That was when Broadway was like kind
Oh,
of fun,
fabulous.
right? Now
Well,
it's all
yeah,
very
my
serious.
home health worker, Gwyneth, she does a lot. So she does Pilates, but she's also an aerial flyer, and
Oh
she's
wow.
a dancer and a choreographer, and she may be um chosen to choreograph a upcoming Broadway show. So
Whoa,
I really
good for
excited.
her.
I haven't been to Broadway and well, actually I saw Bono.
Oh
Bono
really?
had like a one man
Uh-huh.
thing. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
that
Huh,
was awesome.
cool.
Before Bono.
Yeah, I know, bro. I miss, it was so funny that we're talking about this because I don't know, a few months ago I was thinking I was having this kind of like pull about New York, and I'm so could
Oh,
never ever live in the city ever again. But
yeah,
but
yes.
I'm having this like what's the word? Like
Nostalgia. No.
yes, thank you. That's the word.
Right?
Nostalgia.
Okay. Yes,
Nostalgia for New York City. Not even just upstate New York, New York City. Like the specialness of New York City.
totally.
And it is like just something about
Tinseltown,
it. Yeah.
New York City, Tinseltown.
Maybe someday when I feel like I have enough money,
Yeah,
uh,
I love to
I
come
would spend
down.
like a week in the city.
I'll spend a day at your apartment.
Yes, yes, come visit. We'll go to
Go to a
Broadway,
show.
go to a
Oh,
show.
I would love that. One of the things I'd love to do with my son and daughter-in-law, but so expensive. Billy Joel. He
Ah,
still plays I think at Radio City. He's a regular, no, MSG. I'm pretty sure it's MSG. He's a regular there. I won't
hmm
tell you how many months Billy
hmm
Joel plays the concert. And my Gen or millennial son really loves Billy Joel. So I'd love to take them, but it's really not affordable to me.
Yeah,
But okay,
yeah, yeah. It's
many things.
expensive. I mean, that's the thing is,
Anyway, they live in DC. Let them go to like a playhouse there. I'll buy them tickets.
well, and I'm sure there's plenty in DC to
I'm
see.
sure. I'm sure there is.
Yeah, all the big cities. I hear there's nothing. I mean, Santa
Yeah,
Fe. No,
yeah.
I mean there is.
LA.
Yeah, LA. Maybe. Oh, sure. LA has great stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, Denver.
Denver. Some things. Yeah, some do some shows do come through Denver, like some music and stuff. But
I have to say, there's a guy I wrote to on Bumble,
uh-huh,
and he was talking about he gets like he's just sort of like a job board, like whatever, a person who a headhunter who
uh-huh.
gets cowboys to work at ranches, and but he looked so good to me, and I was like, damn, he's probably out in Montana. Turns out he's in Massachusetts, and I'm like, oh, okay, and I wrote to him. I don't know if it was he that wrote back, because remember I said it, somebody wrote to me back. Can I read it?
Yeah. Go.
Okay. I restarted it yesterday because I got like a super swipe and I wanted to see who had done that.
hmm
I actually didn't figure out who did that. Um, Strangely. Good morning. When you said cowboys, I thought, oh, I guess this guy probably lives out west. But then I see you're in Massachusetts. My name is Jessica and I live in New Paltz. How would you greet someone on I have no idea. And he
I
wrote back,
fucking don't know.
nice to meet you, Jessica. Like, what do I do with that?
That's all he wrote.
Yeah.
He didn't say anything else.
I mean, we
I
matched.
fucking hate. That's why I hate these things.
We matched. I couldn't write to him unless we matched.
Okay.
We matched. So that starts it. So I know he has an interest, but
Right.
he's not making conversation flow.
What is fucking wrong with these? Seriously, I mean, this is the problem that I've had with that. All they go hi.
Yeah, well, you know what? I've been watching Love on the Spectrum on Netflix,
I love that show so much.
and they're saying, because conversation doesn't necessarily flow.
People
Autistic
don't know how to do it.
people can be like, have a different way to communicate. And so she said the dating teacher was saying, ask how questions and why questions. If somebody says, how is your day going? Oh, nice to meet you. I could write, what questions, what are you doing today? She's
Right.
thinking, and so I can't assume that everyone knows how to communicate.
I know, but for me, being like a triple Gemini,
Oh, yeah.
if
That,
somebody doesn't
that's
know
a
how
deal
to
breaker.
communicate, I immediately don't want to hang out with them.
I know, and I might feel the same
Zero
way.
interest. Yeah.
I,
Maybe that's not fair, but
I think, oh my God, you know what I wrote to another guy? There was like the most handsome man I've ever seen in my life. I mean, and he's from Greece and he lives out of nowhere. But he says, must take yearly trips to Greece with me or whatever. And
uh,
he was just
okay. Will do.
so handsome. And I just had to express that to him. I wanted to, yeah. So I said something very flirtatious. Do you want
And
to know?
yeah.
You're
And
gonna
then
laugh at me.
did he
I
write
was
back?
gonna say, this is why you don't ever have a date. Because you're an idiot.
Who's an idiot?
Me.
Oh, what?
When you
Why?
hear when you hear what I wrote,
Oh,
the
okay.
handsome man I've ever seen.
Okay.
Was it him? Yeah. Oh, I don't have it because he hasn't been back to me yet.
Hmm.
So I can't see like my comment unless he writes back to me and we're
Oh,
in a conversation.
okay.
So I wrote something like, "Hey, good looking," like something so cheesy that you know you would either find it charmingly cheesy or
Uh-huh.
go your own way.
Oh my God. I know. I wish I had it in me to, I really,
My
God.
my friend used Hinge. She said she got two like fuck boys, and she's not a fuck girl.
Uh-huh.
She thought, and she liked one of them, but after having sex, she was very upset about it and warned me about Hinge. But that was just in New York City. I don't know
Mhm.
what Hinge is like in your area.
Yeah.
I heard good things about it. Bumble's good, but it's so freaking expensive. Hinge
Uh,
is a cheap one.
I have a friend who's on eHarmony. She's looking for women right now,
Okay, my
but
my stepmom did eHarmony. No,
seems to
no,
think it's
she didn't do
okay.
that. I've heard of eHarmony being
She thinks,
successful.
yeah, she thinks it's less about fucking and hooking up, and it's
Excellent.
really for some reason maybe the way it's set up. I don't really know, but
Yeah, yeah, right. So it's like, because I don't like, what I do like about Bumble is you have to both be interested to have a conversation.
okay, that yeah,
So
that,
I like I get it when some of these web dating sites you can start a conversation. Well, I don't know. I
well,
don't think it's true.
match is I don't know. Match is like I've done match and I've
That's just
done
what my stepmom did.
yeah. I mean I always feel like the most people are on match.
Yeah.
Like, does
And
that
so to me, that feels like that's not necessarily alternative people.
no,
Feels more mainstream. So maybe I
totally
want to
mainstream,
do it.
exactly. But
Mhm.
I mean, is Bumble any less is Bumble like does it have any kind of a theme? Like is it just it's
I also used to be on Spiritual Singles,
yeah.
which also was connected. My friend Tim Hunter, do you know Tim Hunter? He's a local guy in Gardner. He was on Green Singles, and
Uh-huh.
somehow we matched up. And
Uh-huh.
he's like, "Hey, Jess, you're on Green Singles." I'm like, "No, I'm on Spiritual Singles." So I guess they felt like simpatico, like you probably for the environment, if you're also spiritual, or
Right.
how they connected it. Um, right? Because that was when it was a couple years ago. I was like, I'm done pretending.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to talk if you're not going to really talk to me. Something
That's kind of
substantive.
how I feel. Yeah.
You
I know
know,
I'm not good at all that small talk shit. I just,
One thing they say on Bumble is you can choose. I'll read you my profile. I'll read you the questions of the profile, okay? Well, one thing they ask, one of the things they offer is you can say that you're into deep chats.
okay,
Chats is how
that's
they,
interesting.
so that's okay, let's see. Ugh, it's not selling to me. I'm not gonna do it. Just let me see my profile, please.
Excuse
They
me.
just keep selling to me. Oh, I have to write complete profile, but I don't want to complete it. Okay, here we go. Your favorite interests, and they give you art, writing, singing, dancing. Uh, which is like, okay, that's a very slight, you know, it's
What are they saying about
selection. I'm saying it's a slight like selection, right?
that?
Because they only give you,
Meaning those are the things that you could talk about?
yeah,
Oh,
okay, basketball, dancing, and singing. I mean, it's all very physical. I guess, see, I don't know.
it's really
But
weird.
knitting,
Yeah.
that's kind of weird. Okay, and then they let you choose up to three causes close to your heart. And so Black Lives Matter, environmentalism, LGBTQ rights, reproductive rights, immigrant rights, indigenous rights, human rights, feminism, trans fight, disability rights, voter rights, neurodiversity, human rights, end religious hate, stop Asian hate, volunteering. So that's good. That's a wide uh qualities you value, and you can choose ambition, confidence, empathy, generosity. These are the two I chose. Humor, kindness, openness, optimism, playfulness, sassiness are your choices. It's funny. I've been watching a lot of dating sites for other cultures. I was watching one with Nigerians, and
Uh,
oh, do they love Jesus?
oh, yeah.
Very religious. And so fun to learn about different cultures and how they do it. And then a pro and a con of dating me, my real life superpower, the quickest way to my heart, opening moves, add three first messages your new match can reply to. I just wrote my own little thing. And then write a fun and punchy motto. So mine is I listen to the wind of my soul. That's from Cat Stevens.
Cat Stevens.
I listen to the wind of my soul. Okay. Uh, your work, education, gender, location.
So those are all things that you
It's
could write
basic.
about in your profile, or what? I don't get it. Or
Yeah,
those,
no, those are just things you tick off, and it will be a part of your profile. And then there's a place for you to write as well.
okay. Yeah, I mean, I did Bumble for a very, but I never really did it. I like
Yeah.
signed, I have a profile probably up on there.
Oh, okay.
I mean, maybe. I don't know if I still do. I don't know. But in the meantime,
And then
I'm
they
looking,
connect it. So sorry. They
mhm,
connect it then to your Spotify. Do you use Spotify?
yes.
Then they'll connect it to your Spotify, and then you'll see another guy. So if I match with a guy, or if I'm just looking at a guy, I can see what he listens to on Spotify. That's very important to me. Not to
Good.
have any judgment. I'm very eclectic. I would accept anybody listening to anything,
Yeah.
but I would just want to
Fun to
know.
see. Totally. No, I
Yeah,
think it's fun to see because music is really, to me, it's
that's life.
soul. It's like your soul. It's like what you're, But I am also so eclectic that people would be like, huh?
Yeah,
But
right. That's right. This one guy that I matched with said, I think I wrote to him. I couldn't find any of these. He said, music, music, music. And then I wrote to him, I said, yes, music, music, music. I don't even know if he spoke beyond that, but
very
I-
Piscean, by the way, music is very Piscean.
yeah, oh yeah,
Obviously, everybody loves music on a
of
certain level, but
course.
I mean,
There's different styles of music, and
yeah,
I think music is, I mean, music is what it's everything, right? Everything
it's
is
everything. Yeah, I agree.
vibration and tone,
Yeah,
music.
yeah, it's in the way
And
it
I
touches.
am not a musician, and but I love and appreciate. But so I feel like I'm participating in the
Mhm.
music
Sure,
because I'm enjoying it to
of
my
course you
core.
are. Yeah, you're receiving it,
I'm receiving it.
and it's coming comes through
I
your
like that.
mind to
Ooh, I
your
receive this music.
yeah,
So are you
yeah.
feeling good about your dreams and where you're at?
Yeah, I just want to say, like, so I just got this message. Speaking of men and dating, and it's the most fun.
Yeah,
Every ridiculous, you know how people will just chime in on some Facebook posts of
yeah.
yours. Oh, I've always seen your profile, and you look so cute. And will you be friends with me? I'm sure you get that on Facebook.
Um, no.
I get like all the fucking time. Maybe it's because I say I'm single, or
Are
because
you on private?
probably not.
If you're on
No.
public, I used to get that when I was on public.
So
But
there's this guy. This is so today. I get he's so fucking. He's like 35
I
maybe.
know,
He
I
look, and they're always either airline pilots
oh,
or in the military
oh yeah, there's
or
all kinds.
surgeons.
So your Facebook is on public.
It must be. I don't
No, that's what it is. That used to happen to me,
I
but
have
now
to
that I'm
say,
on
you look
private, I
cute.
don't.
He
I
says.
get friend requests, but then and friend requests from people who don't know me, but
Oh
probably
yeah,
know
yeah,
somebody that I also know, that kind of thing.
yeah.
But I don't get just like random cold call things like that.
Anyway, and I guess I stay public because
Yeah.
I
Oh,
guess,
okay. Yeah, it's your business.
I guess it's because even though
Definitely,
I hardly
definitely.
post anything on Facebook. I really don't even post it. Once in a while I post like, oh, the river flowing or the full moon or
Well,
some.
you can say, I think even if it's oh no, I think if it's public, it's public. But you might be able to say,
You can.
no, you can't friend me
Oh, I don't know how to.
unless we have somebody that we both know or
Well,
something.
I can't. I don't have. You can't. People don't just friend. You have to accept a friend request. So I
So
don't
it's just
accept those
one.
people.
Okay, good.
I just don't accept them. I
Yeah.
delete them. That's
Yeah,
all. So it's
you
no big
okay.
deal. It's just
Oh,
it's
here listen to me. Okay, how are you feeling? That's no big deal. I'm solving problems for you. And this is you solving problems for your sister. I'm saying, well, you're on public. You're like, no, I have to, well, you're this, you're that, and I'm going to tell you what to do and how to get out of it. And I'm just offering this totally from my heart and from my experience. And I am seeing, and this had to play out because I
right.
hope that you saw a little bit in that.
And that's but yeah, but it was okay for you to say that because then I was like, oh right, because I'm public, that's why I'm getting those things.
Oh,
But
yeah. So yeah,
that was good
totally.
information. I mean, good, but yeah,
So a good reminder,
I
right?
hear
You already knew
I
this.
hear
You
what
already knew.
you're saying.
I hear you. So I'm just saying, like, that's interesting. You
Yeah,
get to put you a little bit, and of course you'll handle it differently than your sister. Because you're different people,
yeah,
to put you a little bit in that.
that's right. She's who
Wow.
she is, and
Yeah, yeah.
I,
Thank you so
all
much
right.
for sharing so much.
Yeah, and thanks for I don't know the inspiration maybe to get on something to get on some. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I don't know who I am to put it on paper. I think that's really what's going on for me.
No, I
Feel like I'm the blob that I was talking
exactly.
about. Like I'm nothing right now.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm not proud. No, it's not that I'm not proud of myself. It's just,
yeah.
I don't have a lot to put on paper.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
running.
well, I have to say, like, I have signed up for in all these years, in so many different dating sites that are not live
Mhm,
because I want to learn more about myself. And
mhm.
by having to write my profile here and there, and I've been learning so much about myself and what I'm
That's,
looking for, what I'm not looking for. That wouldn't necessarily be your way. Maybe it's just
no, but I think that's a
writing,
good point. Is
you
that as
know,
you write it, right, you start to.
you start to write it, and then you don't have to activate. I have some interesting things written and I don't activate, certain. I joined Our Time. I was like 49. It was like the 50 and up dating site. I think it was 49 and like I got so much attention
I'm
because
all 70.
I was like the kid, the high schooler of them, And I had joined Spiritual Singles, as I said. Uh I think, and then Bumble. I think that's it. But of the three, you get to explore who you are, what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. I would recommend. I don't recommend Bumble because of the price, but I do recommend it. And then you could stay live in it, just not paying for it. And then, they'll tell you when you get likes. And then if you feel like checking it out, you pay $30, you have a week on Bumble.
Hmm.
And then you have to
How
remember,
much is Bumble? How much is it, like generally?
let me see.
Like in the hundreds?
I mean, if it's, yeah, I imagine it's expensive. Let me see.
I mean, they all cost money now. Like, what's that
Ridiculous.
one that used to be free that was kind of pretty okay? Uh, Okay Cupid used to be
Yeah.
free. Now it's not. I don't, none of them are free anymore. If you
Tinder
want
used to
to
be
actually,
free.
hmm?
Tinder used to be free.
I never went on Tinder. Tinder was always to me like a,
I never went on it either, but here's something never to talk about. My friend Stacy went on it and she was kicked off. I don't remember why. Whatever, something lewd happened. She was kicked off and then she joined Bumble on my phone. I mean, Tinder on my phone because she wanted, but she doesn't do that anymore. But I thought that was so funny. She was kicked off Tinder. That was such a gas to me. All right, here we go. Uh, Premium. Oh my God, I have all these super sites. What you get? Premium. Okay. You get exclude. All right, but I just want to know the price. It's not telling me a price. Um, Let me get back to you. I think I'm just on a page where they won't let me do that. I'll get back to you with the price. I'll text it to you as soon as I see it.
yeah,
All right, my
cool.
friend. Thank you again.
Yeah. Thank you.
Wonderful talking with
Yeah.
you.
And talk to you soon.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Bye.